This is what happens when you'd rather drink poisonous, dangerous mutagen ooze than listen to any more Vanilla Ice songs. We're going to take a quick review of the Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze Super Shredder by Neca. It's not the figure we wanted, but it's the one we deserve. Alright, first thing I want to talk about is the packaging in the box. I refer to the Ultimate boxes as VHS boxes because that's what they remind me of. The old VHS released movies. And Neca just perfectly makes us reminisce and nostalgic about the packaging because they are always giving us VHS quality boxes, and that just adds to the figures and the collection. Alright, so now let's take a look at the Super Shredder figure himself, all decked out in his magical suit that somehow transformed when he transformed. It's still a mystery to children everywhere that grew up in the 80s and 90s that Super Shredder was able to drink some mutagen, and it mutated his suit he was wearing as well. So I like to think that maybe some of the mutagen spilled out onto the suit, and that don't even make sense, but that's what I'm gonna go with. Like the many shredders that we have seen from Neca, he has his gorgeous cloth cape with him. It's a little less tiger striped than the 1/6 scale shredder and the 7-inch scale shredder that we got. It's more menacing, in my opinion. It looks more like a sheet metal. Looks more like a metallic design than the tiger stripe that comes with the regular figures. I still have packaging on my Super Shredder. Yeah. Okay. So, sorry about that. As you know, Neca figures come with an abundance of zip ties and wire twist ties and plastic. Alright, so let's take a look at the two main accessories that came with Super Shredder. He has his staff, ironically that he did not have in the movie. He kind of just went dolo and he used his brute force to attack the Doc and kill himself. He didn't actually have a weapon, but it is a nice add-on, and it adds to the display when you display him. And a TGRI can of ooze, which is an awesome little add-on. We got one with the splinter, so if you're into dial building or setting up scenes to display, it's always nice to have a little couple extra canisters of ooze. So it's pretty good. Okay, so let's take a look at Shredder himself. And I'm gonna just come on a limb and say that this is probably my favorite paint job they've done on the turtle figures. The 90s movie figures are just really good, they're accurate, but the little details on Super Shredder here are just awesome and just make the figure pop. Just the dry brushing on his torso, the muscle definition, it just makes him pop. It just makes him look even more badass and cool. He's got a few points of articulation. The one that everybody seems to have an issue with in the packaging, because he's usually like that in the packaging, so it's off. So everybody assumes that he's either bent or broke, but it's just he's on the swivel ball joint right there, so you can have a little more display with him. It does look weird when his boobies are over here and his midsection is over there, but it's just an articulation point. So that just gives him more articulation for poses. It might be, I'm going to go on a limb here and say this might be the best Kevin Nash figure that's ever been made. Boy, did I sound pompous with that. But yes, the paint job on Super Shredder is my favorite so far of the Neca TMNT figures. Just like the little details of muscle and the highlights that just make them pop really just stand out to me. So if you look at his articulation, he's got the normal Neca articulation. He's got the hips that come out, the knees that bend, ankle swivel joints. I do have a little issues sometimes with his shoulders. They're kind of stiff. His shoulder pads do not block too much, but it's just the joints themselves that get locked up. Don't know if that's an overall issue with all the Super Shredders or if it's just with mine, but his shoulders are very stiff, so be careful with trying to do a open-armed come get it pose, because he does not like to stretch his his shoulders. Other than that, everything else is just right. His chest swivel is nice. His waist is a little stiff as well, but other than that, his articulation is pretty solid. Was having fun doing some poses with him earlier, loosening him up and playing with him. I mean, displaying, not playing. Yeah, I was playing with my toys. But overall, it is top 3 figures out of Neca I've got so far. Alright, so let's take a look at how Super Shredder stacks up with some other Neca figures. So, I'm going to Super Shredder with the 7-inch Shredder, the San Diego Comic-Con Arcade Shredder, and of course, Big Papa, the 1/6 scale 1990 Jim Henson Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder. And he fits in perfectly and looks awesome. And this is Super Shredder in his final resting place with the rest of the Neca 1990 movie turtles.